Okay, this is TY, your boy from Stone Muscle, checking in to the actors that I grew up admiring and watching all the time. Right now, as you can see, I'm watching Malcolm X. Sorry that you had to see that scene right there of what happened a long time ago in California when a man by the name of Rodney King was pulled over. Don't want to talk about that. That is just something that I could talk about another time. But it's history. It's in the past, and I like to think that we can move forward and stuff like that. Even though the things that are happening out in the world today, January 31st, I believe, 2021, and so forth. The reason I said thank you, and the reason I'm saying thank you to the actors Jamie Foxx, Denzel Washington, Eddie Murphy, and Will Smith, are because these gentlemen represent us, the black male, when they are on screen. And the reason I admire them is because these guys are out here in Hollywood with all um, this open display of women, money, fast cars, and the drugs that are out there, probably drugs that we never even heard before out in California compared to where we are out here in Pennsylvania. But you have to admire these men's strength and staying away from the the indulgences that they could be easily influenced into doing. Denzel Washington, to me, is probably one of the greatest actors, and it's no probably, is one of the greatest actors in the world. His smoothness, his his delivery, the performances that he delivers in these movies. Like I said, I'm watching Malcolm X, and just like Jamie Foxx, these guys are reliving and giving us life on how these gentlemen were that we didn't know and see at that time, because it was a different time, of course. And I want to say to Denzel Washington, I think he grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, and to the lady who, I think I was reading, there was a lady who's seen Denzel. I guess he was cleaning up a barbershop at the time, or he was in a location. He was somewhere where a woman came up to him and said, "Young man, you're going to be something someday. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're going to be doing, but you're going to be noticed, and the world's going to know your name." That's big. And it's also the power of women being able to see what it is in you that's good or bad, and can become on the person that you can become later on in life. And I'm sorry that the women in my neighborhood or in my town had to tell their sons time and time again not to hang with me or be friends with me, because just like that lady seen in Denzel Washington, she seen in me that I wasn't going to be any good for her son to be hanging around. And I regret it, or should I say, I don't regret it, because it wouldn't make me the person that I am today. And I want to say to the ladies out there who are so visionary and can see which you're going to become, that you weren't lying. You were not lying, and you were not telling your son anything wrong by not hanging with Tyrone Weldon, because I've been in juvenile detention centers, and then later on became a drug dealer of the cars I was driving and the jewelry I was wearing, just being flashy and driving around in the car with women of all races and sizes and shapes, what have you. It was no good. There was nothing to brag about. There was nothing good to say about a young man who was 20 years old and would drive his car up in the neighborhood and have the younger kids, or even kids my age, just coming up to my car and just crowding around my car, just seeing what I was wearing, what jewelry I was wearing that day, what 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 kind of what coolness might have came off me, or what coolness I thought might have came off me at the time, but was actually leading them into a different direction, or influencing them to be like they shouldn't have been, like me. But I just can't get off this subject for some reason, because I know that it was a bad time in my life, and I have nobody to blame but myself, because, like I said, I did what I wanted to do. But back to the thank yous on the actors that I grew up admiring and watched on the big screen. I want to give a shout out to you guys. I know you're not going to, you don't know who I am. You're not going to probably ever see me in life. But I want to thank the Jamie Foxx, the Will Smith, the Denzel Washington. I want to thank those guys, because those guys made me realize that you don't have to be so tough. You don't have to be so bad. And just do what you're supposed to do as a man, instead of trying to get attention from the wrong crowd. I, I just admire those guys, because they could do anything they want. And my man Denzel Washington, as far as I know, never attended any Hollywood parties, or if he did, it was probably in the beginning because of what he probably had to do at the time to get that movie part, or get that movie role that he was trying to get. And I want to say, I want to give condolences to Cicely Tyson's family, because I just recently, I think Cicely Tyson died probably about 4 or 5 days ago. And here's a strong Black woman who, from what I was told, had multiple movie offers to do and play certain roles that she didn't feel comfortable doing, because she didn't want to portray and then have that influence on these young women, especially young Black women out here in America. She was, I heard that she was turning down roles, and they probably offered her money that she probably suitcases full of money. Well, they don't get money like that. They get checks, I'm pretty sure, and then royalties after those movies come out. I mean, just think about that. You're sitting home, and then your bank has a bing, and then you have another $25,000 in there just for doing a movie. So, Hollywood looks out for their actors. You've got to put in the hard work. Pretty sure you got to put in the hard work. I'm hearing that they're on the set 14, 16 hours a day for 10 months to a year, sometimes even longer than that, to deliver us movie roles that will last a lifetime, because that's what these movies are. These movies are part of history. They're going to last a lifetime. They're going to always be there, and they're always going to be remembered because of those movies. The man behind me didn't hold back for nothing. Tupac was one of a kind. There will never be another like him. Very talented individual, and said what was on his mind, probably to the point to where as though it got him in trouble. But that's life. I mean, that's the life that you have to live, and there are the consequences that you have to deal with for saying words that come out your mouth. Because the words that come out your mouth will come to be realized if you keep speaking on that subject or whatever it is that you're trying to relay to people. Just watch what you say out your mouth. Try to be as positive as you can and not say negative things, because they will come back to haunt you. I mean, just be mindful of that. Try to be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. That's it for my thank yous, and why I'm saying thank you to the actors who have gave us Black men influence out here in America, and how the Will Smiths, Jamie Foxx, and Denzels, and Eddie Murphys could be in this situation, be in the positions that they are, could have done so much on the other side to not be the people that they are. As far as I know, they've never had any trouble whatsoever with law enforcement. And I admire that. I really do. No DUIs, no getting caught with a little bag of weed, no nothing. These guys, I take my hat off to them. I ain't going to take my hat off now because my head's too big and there's hair all over the place. And oh, by the way, I'm going to be shaving all this hair off too. I'm going to be going bald. I'm going to shave it all off, and just because right now so I don't really know what's making me hold on to the little bit that I have up there, but we're going to get rid of it. We're going to go ahead and have a bald head. A good friend of mine, Anthony, told me, get this guy, get this. He's a gentleman at the barbershop, a young white man, a young white guy. Not that it matters. Just trust me, I'm not prejudiced at all. Who probably delivers one of the best haircuts in Norristown. And there I go with the again, and not use that word so much. And Carol. I'm not going to use that word. I'm going to find something else to put in that place. Maybe just a pause. Maybe don't say anything at all. Just pause just for that second, and then pick up again into what I'm talking about. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for listening to this. Stone Muscle is going to be coming at you. It's going to anything that you want to ask me, I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give you my opinion on it to the best of my knowledge, because I've probably lived it. I've probably done it. And there I go, Dom, again. But let me go ahead and check out, and I'll be making more about. I'll be making more videos talking about what it is that I like to talk about, the subjects I like to talk about, and what have you. Okay? Take care, everybody. Peace.